did you give this back to me?
What did you just do?
Brush my tongue. Brush my tongue. You're disgusting.
I want to see that on the episode.
No, no.
Like that part, it did not look like that from this angle.
Like, what was that, Jim Carrey, where he was the...
Andy's not catching one.
Talk to the animals, where he had the plunger.
Oh.
There's no bad whiskey. There's only...
I might have to put that in the episode.
That looked really bad, didn't it?
Without the context beforehand. Cheers.
Welcome, welcome, everybody.
How are you today?
Good.
We're back, and we're going to try a Texas favorite, Balcones,
How do you know it's a Texas favorite?
because,
You ask all of Texas?
yeah, there are fanatics, and then there are super fanatics. And when it comes to Texas whiskey, you have fanatics who just like the Garrison Brothers and the Andalusian. I'm a very big fan of Andalusian, but I wouldn't call myself a fanatic. I don't think it's the one thing that everybody should have and nothing else. There's TX, Iron Root. There's just a lot of Texas whiskeys. But when it comes to Balcones, you have absolutely dedicated super fans out there who, if you don't like Balcones or have never tried it, they think you're weird. Because I subscribe to a lot of blogs and I read a lot of reviews, and comments and reviews are always like, you got to try Balcones. You got to try Balcones. So we're going to try Balcones. This is our second one. We did the, I think the Bourbon before. And this is the pot still. They have like 13, 14 different kinds. And what makes Balcones so special is that they actually pretty much shocked the world. They about 5 or 6 years ago, when Texas whiskey was just starting, they submitted their whiskey to the International Whiskey Association contest in London, and it was blind tested, and Scotch always wins. Scotch always wins, or Kentucky Bourbon. And in this, their Balcones single malt won world's best. And so it was like a giant shock to the whole industry.
The whole world.
Mm-hmm. And so from that point on, Balcones is just kind of a setter here in Texas. And there are some deep fanatics. I mean, you say one little thing wrong about Balcones, so this is going to be a 5-barrel. Because
Well, you know the word fan comes from the Latin word fanatic, which means, I don't know.
Fanatic? I was like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, whoo. Thought he was gonna Somebody got their smarts on. And then it went back to normal.
Oh, it is. Fan comes from fanatic, which means...
Look, you're upsetting Maggie, okay? You're scaring her.
Yes, unnecessarily. Maggie.
You want back in my chair?
So we're going to look at the Balcones pot still. I actually have no problem with Balcones. I don't think they're the greatest whiskey in the world.
What?
My problem with Balcones is they think they're one of the greatest whiskeys in the world, so they're expensive. This is one of the cheaper ones. It comes in at $29.99. That's $30. So that's going to be a 3-barrel.
What is a pot
Actually,
still?
it's going to be a 2-barrel. It's a type of still. So you have two major types of stills. You have the pot still, which is the traditional round copper pot that's got the long tube that comes out. And then that's for more artistic, crafty producers, because you don't produce as much. I mean, you have to put all your mash in there, and you have to get the fermentation and then the distillation each time. Where more and more companies are using what's called coffee stills. Mm-hmm. And these are these giant long tubes that have all the windows in them.
Yeah.
And they can be run almost 24 hours a day, constantly producing. And so there's just a different flavor with stills, whether it's copper or stainless steel or whatever, whether it's coffee still or a pot still. So they do this apparently in a pot still and everything else in a coffee still.
It's still put in a barrel, right?
Yeah.
But we need the people to know that.
I figured they did know that. I mean, it is colored.
They might not have known it.
Okay. Deep thoughts. Were they going to be?
No, it's
So,
Latin 101.
Latin 101. So this is a 2-barrel rating because it comes in at $30. Most of their stuff is $60, $70, $80. So this is one of their cheaper ones, hence the reason I bought it.
Okay, let's give it a try.
What are you going to buy?
Christmas, I already bought some stuff for Christmas. Got most of my shopping done already.
I saw you at the Dollar Tree the other day.
Yeah, they sell booze at the Dollar Tree.
The Dollar. And that's rubbing alcohol, and we don't drink that.
My own personal playground.
All right. So this is a bourbon, pot still bourbon from Balcones. It's no age statement, but I'm going to assume it's probably 2 or 3 years. It's pretty dark, but that's typical of Texas whiskey.
I think it's because of the heat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fluctuation in temperatures creates a much darker whiskey. They can age it. So like a 5-year here is worth like this is really generalized, but a 5-year barrel here is equivalent to like a 10, 15-year barrel in Scotland, just because of the fluctuations of heat. It's at 46%, so that's a 92 proof. Pretty good, hefty bite there. So let's take a look. We'll have everything down the center.
And what was the cost?
$30. Mm.
Excuse me.
My home channel.
Did I do that?
Okay. How you doing? You okay? I give it a 3 on aroma. I think it smells like a bourbon. Can kind of get that dark cherry, but a little bit of alcohol tinge to it. A little bit of char. And some good vanilla notes to me. I like it. Smells like a bourbon, so I give it a 3. What'd you give it there, buddy?
I gave it a 3 on the aroma.
Okay. And? We're pretty much even
good.
on
It's
this.
got like a nice caramely smell to it and stuff.
Okay. For flavor, I gave it a 3. It's very a moderate flavor. Not too overbearing. I think that you can taste some of the, like you said, the caramel and the dry notes, the fruit. But
yeah, I gave it a 3.5, and that might just be
a little bit of vanilla flavor to it.
vanilla.
No, I didn't say that. Bite, I gave it a 3 because there is a little bit of a bite and a little bit of lingering, but it's on average.
I gave it a 3 on the bite too.
So that is an 11 total for both of us. This is one of the first times we've been
Well, I gave
Even
it
across the
3.5 on the flavor because
You ruin everything.
it didn't have bacon in it. So.
Oh, good God. We need to start all over. No, just so a 3 rating, average rating. It's not a bad bourbon, and for $30, it's about average price. Most of their stuff is way too expensive for me to just want to go get. And when I go and I see a $60, $70, $80 bottle, I'm thinking to myself always, should I get this because I really want to try it? And if it's not a Scotch, I probably won't, because Scotches are something that I'm much more wanting to try out. So I'm thinking to myself, at $60, I could get 2 of something else. Or at $80, I could get 2 or 3 of something else. And so that's my thinking behind it. If I was just focused on trying all the Balcones, I would buy them. They do have a few of them in 350s, and then you can get them like 4 or 5 of their brands in minis.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Balcones is not too far from us. It's like a 45-minute drive south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. They're in Waco, Texas, and that's not too far from us. So we keep talking about doing a visit there. The problem is that Texas distilleries aren't open conveniently all the time, and your work schedule doesn't work with it. In fact, the last few distilleries we went without you, just because. And we went to 2 just recently, and you didn't get to go.
And it was on my day off.
It was on your day off.
But I was
You said
sleeping.
you had a tummy ache and didn't feel good, and then 30 minutes after we left, you were like, I feel better. So yeah, and we'll be trying those coming up, hopefully quickly. We're slowly working through our excess, but I keep buying. I came back from Europe with a few more.
What a shock!
What a shock. Headed to the Great White North this week, so so we'll be probably bringing stuff back.
What a shock!
Yeah.
After all that about, I gotten everything, I'm not going to get any.
Well, I have a friend who owns a distillery that was sending us stuff, and we got that.
We knew about that.
We knew about that.
New stuff.
And then I found some new stuff at the, not new stuff, but stuff that I really, one of my favorites that I can't get here, and another one that was just a good price at the duty-free shop in London. And then just stumbled upon another one. So I didn't come back with a lot. And
Which is unusual.
When I go to Alaska, I probably won't come back with hardly. I'll take my carriers just in case. But anything to add? Balcones, not a bad. I mean,
it's not bad.
No, I don't understand the fanaticism behind them, but of course the single malt that they won their award for, and I forget the Maduro, I think is their most famous. I can't afford, and I'd really like to try it. I might have to fork over the money for the single malt just so we can give it a try. But yeah, if you get a chance, pick up some Balcones. Tell us what you think. I know all the Balcones haters or fanatics are gonna hate on us.
Well, and the thing is with like whiskey,
it's subjective.
Yeah, and you kind of get into this is my favorite whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I drink. And I've done that. I've had my to-go-to whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
But since we started this whole thing, it's like I can't tell you what my to-go-to whiskey is. Because there's a lot of different options.
They're all different flavors, all different styles, all different makes, all different cask finish. There's so much to choose from that you can't. I mean, because when you talk about Scotch, is your favorite a Highland or a Islay or a Speyside or whatever? If you're talking about bourbons, is it a Kentucky or is it non-Kentucky? Is it a pot still? Is it a, small batch?
Well, I could tell you with the single malt, I'd go with the Islay. That's
okay, but which one?
I couldn't tell you.
See, and I would be more I mean, I love the PD Islays, but I'm a big Speyside fan, which has got like 50 of the most popular distilleries.
Yeah. It's
But then
like-
you have local Texas peat whiskey like Andalusian. I don't know. There's no way. If I get friends all the time because they, you know, we talk about the channel. They're like, "So what's your favorite whiskey?" And I'm like, I can't
I
answer
can't tell you. It's like
that. I can tell you my least favorite whiskey,
bacon.
but yeah. Remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. This is good whiskey, so you should give it a try. Make sure you hit our like and subscribe and all of our channels and stuff like that. So cheers.
All right. Cheers. Laters.